asked me, when we did the foiling masterclass a couple of weeks ago, everybody wanted to know some advanced techniques. Well, I said if we're doing advanced stuff, that's Monday Makers where we do all the advanced stuff. You guys were asking to see how to do this technique, how to foil onto a candle. Foil press plugged in. This is what everyone has been asking for. Everyone's wanting to know how to do this. It's one of those techniques where once someone shows you, you think, oh, of course. But I thought this would be lovely, maybe a baby's first Christmas, or this could be like a first anniversary that you're making for somebody, or a first birthday, or it doesn't have to be one. You could do this for, you know, any amount of, any type of, you know, any birthday, any anniversary, anything you want to do on here, okay? But it's all done using tissue paper. Now what I do is I keep all of my, you know when you order some clothes or whatever and they come wrapped in tissue, it's always the white stuff, the cheap stuff. I keep that for this exact technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut a little bit of the tissue. You don't need very much of it. I'm going to cut a bit of the tissue. And I'm also going to get out that the design. So these are the numbers. I will walk you through all of these a little bit later, but I'll do the demo first. So first of all, we're going to foil, then we're going to stamp onto that tissue paper. So I'm going to just cut a little bit of silver foil. And you just need a very small amount for these. And what it will do is it will foil the one, but leave a little bit of a gap. Now, when you're foiling on a tissue paper, basically you only need it for about 10 seconds. So I'm going to set my seconds ready. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to need a shim because the tissue paper is very fine. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, oh, you'll be very careful. I've got a bit of glue on the bottom. We're going to go with our 1, start the countdown timer. I'm going to get my foil ready so the foil goes down, then the tissue, so that we're going to do the tissue into here as well. Then I'm going to put my top piece on, then we put the top plate on, and that is ready to go through the foil press. So tissue paper, because it is a little bit thinner, anytime you're working with something that is a little bit fine and thinner, just add in that extra shim. It's just a piece of cardstock and it just gives it that extra little bit of pressure. I just turn that again to the close-up camera so you can see. When I peel this away, you've got the perfect transfer foil. I know it looks like there's a bit missing, but trust me when I say that's on purpose. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to bring in one of my stamping mats so that we can stamp onto the remainder here. We're going to put our tissue down. I'm going to bring in so here's the rest of my foil. So if I show you this, can you see how this wraps around? I'll see if we can get you any closer so that you can see the stamping here. So what I'm going to do, oh actually I tell you what might be a little bit better than using the stamping mat. Oh, I'll use my positioner. Brilliant. So this is our 8-inch platform. So I'm going to pop this down, hold the tissue in place. So I'll move this up a little bit so that you can see. Wonderful. Hold the tissue in place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the number 1. Now I can see there, lovely, my nice big flower comes to the bottom. So it's going to wrap around the 1 and a little bit poking out from the side. So excuse me, you're going to get my hair on here, but we're going to go on. This is just going to perfectly line up around, there we go, all the way around the 1. Absolutely where we want it. We then come pop this on, pick this up. I'm going to stamp it with my alcohol proof dye because I'm going to colour this in. So you're going to stamp that with the alcohol proof dye, plenty of it on there. Turn around and then that will just stamp exactly into place around our number 1. Absolutely perfect. And then all you need to do is come in from here and you're going to colour in around your number 1. So I've actually got one here. I've got one where I put the ST on there as well, so for the first. Actually, I need to do some colouring in on one. Should I get my tri-blends out? Oh, I did get them out. So I'll get a nice purple and I'll do a little bit of colouring. So what you'll see is there's a trick when you're colouring onto tissue paper. You're just going to ever so gently dab it. So don't worry about the blend. I'm just going to do a little bit of dotting onto here, a little bit of colouring on there, and of course we just had the tri-blends on Friday, so hopefully you've all got them. But I stamped with the alcohol proof dye because I wanted to use the alcohol pen for colouring. So even though it's just on a tissue paper, you can still get that lovely coloured finish.
Anne is talking about timings, Sarah, and says a lot of the times in the chart talk about thicker cardstocks. Any tips for thinner cardstocks, which I guess is pretty similar to what you're doing right now with the tissue? To be honest, you'll find it is pretty much the same sort of thing. So it's pretty much going to be the same sort of timing. You will get to know your own machine, so you'll get to have a bit play with those timings. But you'll find actually it's pretty much the same if you're doing it for thinner or thicker. Now, let me show you. We're going to get ready to transfer this onto the candle. This is the exciting bit now, Jo, right? So first thing you're going to do is you're going to tear your tissue paper. So you're going to get quite close, but not too close. And you're just going to tear all around that tissue. And I always like to tear it because it gives it more of an authentic look when it's burned, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to melt it into the surface of the candle. So coming all the way around, you're going to get this all torn round, so you've got that nice kind of rough edge, right? That's now waste that little bit. Then bring in your candle. Now let me just get tidied up here, Jo. I'm going to take out my number 1 there. I'm going to pop the foil press, don't need it plugging in yet, to one side, and get my candle in here. Now the other thing that you need is a little bit of wax paper, right? So you know, greaseproof paper does exactly the same. You know what you were using when we were cooking. So you need a little bit of wax paper, and I like it folded in half. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to work out where you want this to appear on your candle. So I want it, yep, that looks lovely. Then you're going to take your wax paper and wrap your wax paper around the candle. And you wrap it around and hold it at the back in place. So that's all held now, and what this is doing is it's maintaining the shape of the candle. And then you're going to come with your heat gun, and we're just going to go, let's just get this wire over here. I'm just going to put it on the lowest setting and just melt essentially around the surface. Let's have a look. Yes, you can see that. What it does is it melts the surface of the wax, and the wax kind of melts and lets that number 1 go in. Can you see there? It's kind of changing. You kind of can't almost see where the outside of the tissue paper is now. And essentially it's like the tissue paper vanishes into the candle. Now they do say, like, you know, I wouldn't really recommend burning this, but the thing is, you're not going to do it on an expensive candle that's there for burning, are you not? This is more something that you would do for decorative purposes, something that's like a real keepsake. I made these when one of my friends got married. I made them for the centerpieces of all the tables with the names of the tables on. So you don't have to foil. You could do this technique with printing or anything like that. And then all we do, you see, that there is, I can see it melting, and can you see I've even got a little bit of the wax is actually melting through the tissue paper, but that's absolutely fine. You're just going to leave it and make sure that's all kind of, that's all stuck, and then when you peel this off, that has actually been embedded into the front of the candle. So have a little look at the close-up there. That is fully embedded into the front of that candle. And now bear in mind, this could be an image that you'd hand coloured, that you'd hand stamped, that you'd made yourself, anything, so one of your stamp designs. All you need to do is do it on a tissue paper, and then you use that technique, but it shows you there, even with foiled elements. Let's foil like a multicoloured background. So let's get a bit of the disco ball, let's get a bit of the gold one on there as well. Should we have a little bit of plain silver and a bit of plain gold? Yeah, let's get a bit. Are these all papercraft ones? Yes, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my scissors, she says optimistically, hope she hasn't lost anything, and just cut a few strips of your foil. So I wanted to show you how you can be using different colours and different styles of foil all on the same project. So, oh, here's my gold one off here. Right, let's have a couple of bits of gold on here as well. So we've got a couple of silver, same sort of size, couple of gold as well, couple of this is a lovely one, this one here. So just to clarify that, Sarah, could you use the multi-surface on paper if you wanted to, or would it not work on paper?
Yeah.
So there's nothing to stop you?
No, okay, not cool. At all. Basically, what you'll find is the multi-surface is designed to adhere at a higher temperature.
Right, okay.
So you'll see whenever it tells you, if I go onto here, multi-surface foil rolls in the instructions, tells you the timings for your foil stamp dies and the stamp and cut, and it's all for PU leather and cotton fabrics. That's when it tells you to use the multi-surface foil rolls, and you'll notice every one of them, the heat setting needs to be on high. So you've got the low, the medium and the high on here. You're going to use the high.
Wonderful, because Danny had asked that. I think maybe he's got a few of the multi-surface rolls he's wanting to use up.
Brilliant.
So yeah,
yep.
absolutely.
By all means, use them. Yep, brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do, Joe, is I've cut a load of those now. I'm going to use this lovely background. This is your snowflake one. My foil press is at temperature, so I'll let you zoom back out so you can see the foil press. I'll pop this on. Now for your background, before we go into here, I'm going to go into a cello bag, so it's pretty much like acetate sort of thing. So if you look, 30 seconds. Can you see that there? 30 seconds. So I'm going to go on with this, and I'm going to go up to 30 seconds, all the way up. And once we get to 30, give it the start. Now, while that's starting, I'm going to start laying some of these across. So can you see, you want to make sure that they are just overlapping each other a little bit, so that you don't get any gaps in your foiling there. So I'm alternating silver and gold, and then I'm overlapping them as we're going down. So we
can
get
you
like
do this with all
mix.
of your foil stamp dies, or is it just the background ones that this would work with, Sarah?
All of them would work with anything, Joe.
Okie doke,
looks
fantastic.
Fabulous. It's going to look amazing. So let's see. No, I can't get it all done before I was just going to say, do you think I'll get it all done before the beep goes? Oh, I needed to explain to you as well what I was doing. Oh, my life. Right, we'll get these put in place. Oh, look at that. That was good luck, not good management, that. Right, I'm going to foil it onto a cello bag. I've got a cello bag here. What you need to do if you're foiling onto a cello bag is cut a little bit of cardstock just to go inside the cello bag. So I'm just going to do one side of it. So I'm trying to make sure I don't get the side. There we go. So the cello bag goes in. You're going to pop that on there so that we can do the foiling onto here. Then I'm going to pop my lid on, and we're going to pull and go through. Now, I'm hoping if we say 30 seconds, you should really be sticking to 30 seconds. I've probably took an extra 10, 15 seconds there that I didn't mean to. If we get any over foiling, at least you'll know why. So try and have everything prepared ahead of time. But this is going to look pretty spectacular. So we lift this off. I'm going to turn this here. So if I take this out first so that you kind of get the magic as it comes off, and as I peel these off, can you see that there's all foiled multicoloured snowflakes onto the front of our cello bag? How amazing does that look? And that is for our candle to go in. So that is going to go into there, and we've got that fabulous candle which is now all wrapped up. So I've done one side. You probably want to do the other side. In fact, you probably want to do the other side. That's going to look all right from the front. And then do you know what it would look really nice with, Joe? With a nice ribbon on the top. So why don't I have a quick tidy down, get my ribbon out, and I'm going to use, in case you want to give everyone the heads up, I'm going to use the border dies. They are utter perfection when it comes to foiling onto ribbon. Just remember, in case you didn't hear me explain at the beginning, don't just sit with this on there all the time, okay? I sit with mine just slightly pulled out. So this is how I sit with it all the time. Then when I'm ready to go, I pop this in, and it will go green as soon as it's ready. So there it's green, it's ready to go. I'm going to hit the reset. I'm going to foil onto a little bit of ribbon, and I'm going to use that amazing Starry Night bar. Honestly, these two borders, by the way, these are probably two of the most used. These and the Christmas, I must say the Christmas foil stuff we have is like my favourite foil stuff in my whole collection. And if you're gonna bling something up, Christmas is the time to do it, okay? So I'm gonna pop that on. Where's my instruction booklet? Here it is. So we're gonna go and we're gonna look for ribbon. So fabric, cotton or satin ribbon. So this is a medium to largish die. Yep, so you're talking 10 seconds. So I'll go up to 10, right? I'm gonna learn my lesson from last time, you see, and I'm gonna get my foil cut to size before we start, because we don't want any overfoiling. Overfoiling is what's going to happen if you don't stick to the timelines and you basically get foil where you don't want it. So I'm going to cut a couple of sheets of this, couple of pieces of this to the right size. So can you see it's nice and big? And then I might be able to, because I'm such a tight one, Joe. Do you think I might get 3 lots out of this? Yes, I will. So I'm going to cut them, I'm just cutting the foil down to be the right size for my ribbon. So we've got plenty of it cut, and I'm going to do my ribbon a little bit at a time.
So there's all of our foil.
We had a question in recently, Sarah.
Yes.
Is there anything to stop you foiling both sides of the ribbon?
Oh no, not at all. I think that would be lovely. And we can try that if you want. So I'll do the countdown. I'm not going to do the whole of the ribbon. We'll be on ages. But I'm going to show you the whole of this piece of ribbon. But I'll just do maybe it's the edges both sides. So you go on with your what you call this? Your foil. Thank you, Joe. We're going to put the ribbon down. And then what I am going to do, there we go, got our ribbon on perfectly, and I am just going to put a little shim. So I've just cut a little shim of cardstock to go over there, and then I'm going to pop that through. And that should just be nice to do this. Do you know, I have a lot of people say the foil press is one of them machines that they feel quite intimidated to use, a little bit frightened of. However, when they start using it, they realise it was nowhere near as scary as they thought it was going to be. It's just getting used to it. It's just something new. Go back and watch that masterclass and you'll see all of the comments that we had from people saying how much they loved. Are you ready for this? How much they love using their foil press when they know what they're doing. Now I want to foil the whole ribbon, so look what we do. We go straight in here. I'm going to go back onto the 10 seconds. Now I know it's not shown at temperature, but it won't be far off. So I'm going to start the countdown timer. I'm going to get my next piece of ribbon on here, my next piece of foil, and I'm going to line this up. There we go, with the next piece of ribbon. There we go, it is at temperature now. Pop that on. Pop the top plate on. Are we at 10 seconds? Yes, we are. Out we come. Back in there, and it's going to just do onto the next section. We're just going to keep going with that all the way through the whole ribbon, Joe.
On the odd occasion that you do get a little bit of overfoiling, some questions that have come in previously. Any tips on getting rid of any sort of tiny little bits of overfoiling that you might get?
Oh, absolutely. I'm pleased you've asked, Joe. Hey, I tell you what, you're good at getting like all the good questions in today, aren't you?
I'm going back through weeks and weeks of Facebook posts to find these. Don't you worry.
Yes. So basically, yes, I have. What you're going to do is if you get a little bit of overfoiling, you're going to have a rubber and you're just going to rub it off.
Okay.
Just with a rubber.
Just like a regular eraser from on a pencil.
Regular eraser. Absolutely.
Perfect.
I haven't pressed the start down there. I'm going to shut that. And actually save me sending it through a third time. I'm just going to probably trim my ribbon down a tiny little bit. So 3, 2, 1, through we go. Just be a little bit careful when you are using material in that through your foil press, especially if it's through your Gemini, if it's a bit too long like this. Look, I'm just being really careful to make sure there's no opportunity for it to get wrapped up through the rollers here.
Now you're using your Junior there, Sarah. Am I right in thinking you can use it through your bigger machine as well?
Absolutely, yes. So if you want to use it through your bigger machine, all you're going to do is you're going to get the foil press extender plate, which we do have on the show, which we do have on the website. Go and have a little look on the website and you'll see it. So we'll get all this displayed. So we've got our nice Christmas gift sorted this year. You're all going to do these gorgeous, you're going to foil your candle. Oh, do you know what would look amazing, Joe? One of those nativities. One of those nativities that I did first onto the candle. And then you're going to foil the ribbon to match it. Oh, we are having a full-on foiled Christmas this year. Why not?
I think foiling is great. You know, it's like the old adage, isn't it? You know, foiling is for the year, not just for Christmas. But there is something fabulous. What is it? What was it? What was the advert that I was thinking of? I can't remember anyway. But yeah, foiling isn't just for Christmas. It is for all year round. But it does really lend itself to Christmas beautifully, doesn't it? Like the amount of... Because it's just all about that little bit of bling, I think, which people love at Christmas. That looks wonderful.
Doesn't it just... I tell you what, I'm absolutely thrilled with that.